We are here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Tuesday, November 26th here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin, and you're watching News Generation. Today, we're joined by Im Sang-hyuk.
Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tuesday, and Hee Kim.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. It's Tuesday, so we're gonna begin with our keyword news. Today's keyword is out-of-wedlock birth. Actor Jung Woo-sung, who starred in the 2023 hit movie 12/12 The Day, has been making headlines in Korea after admitting that he is the father of model Moon Gabi's baby son. One local media outlet reported on Sunday that Jung and Moon first met in 2022 and maintained a close relationship. Moon later discovered she was pregnant with Jung's child, whom she gave birth to earlier this year. But the two are reportedly never in a committed relationship, nor do they have plans to get married. Jung's agency has stated that he will take full responsibility for the child's upbringing as the biological father. Now, this news has sparked controversy, with some criticizing Jung for keeping the pregnancy and birth private and for what many perceive as a focus on financial support rather than taking an active role in parenting. But on the other hand, some have defended Jung, arguing that marriage is not a requirement for having children and that he is doing his part as a parent by committing to support the baby as much as possible. So I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on this issue or controversy?
Well, it's very deep to start this morning. It's just shocking, obviously, and it's hard to say, but as a father, there are a zillion thoughts passing through my mind. Once my son asked me, even if we are apart, we're still a family, right? And I said, of course. My son probably asked me this question because I couldn't spend a lot of time with him, and I felt sorry for him. But things have changed a lot in Korea. People seem to be understanding of many different situations. But with the fame at the level of Jung Woo-sung, there's a lot of things, especially with him being involved in quite some of the various social movements where he voiced up. And he'll have to go through a lot. And his son, of course, his kid have to go through a lot eventually. And regardless of how much Jung Woo-sung says he'll be involved in raising the kid, it almost sounded like he won't be part of a conventional meaning of the family. And this perception wouldn't be welcomed in Confucianism-driven society in Korea. And no matter how much Korean society revolves, I remember from a TV show specifically that I watched a couple of days ago, the ending quote was like this: "You may give a birth to a child, but it doesn't mean that the child belongs to you." So just having my fingers crossed for Jung and Moon, and of course for the kid.
And I definitely agree with you why this news became big, because here in Korea, it's still typically, a typical family is still considered of consisting of a father, mother, and a child, which I think is also, once again, the reason why so many people were shocked and were talking about it for days, right?
Yeah, so I've never expected such a Hollywood-style scandal would occur here in Korea. And as you mentioned, there are mixed opinions popping out from the public, and I kind of understand both sides. But for now, I think Mr. Jung Woo-sung will have to endure severe criticisms from the public. Because when we think about the societal sentiment of the Korean society, we have this long withstanding belief that a typical family, in order to be safe and sound, they need to have a father, a mother, bonded under a marriage contract. But here, as you can see, Jung Woo-sung mentioned that he will take financial responsibility, but still not bonded by the marriage contract. So for now, my concern is, what about the kid? So the presence of a father is really crucial for a child to grow into a mature adult, but without Jung Woo-sung, I think the child will definitely face loneliness or some kind of feeling of being left out in the society as he gets older. So for now, I just wish the press and both the public to stop malicious comments towards Jung Woo-sung and Moon Gabi, all for the sake of the kid.
Right, so I think as of now, we only hope for the best of the kid, and both Moon and Jung will take full responsibility of the child as parents. And that was our keyword news for this Tuesday. So we're now going to move on to our main discussion of the day. Today we're going to talk about the Korean wave and the global appeal of K-culture. Take a look at the screen to find out more. With the holiday season approaching, many of you may be planning your year-end vacation. If Korea is on your radar and you're a fan of K-culture, today's episode could help you craft the perfect itinerary. So we're first going to take a look at the bigger picture. So Sang-hyuk, is South Korea a popular tourist destination among international travelers around the world?
Well, if you asked me the same question 10 years ago, I would probably have said no. But since Korean culture and K-pop are getting a huge popularity, definitely, yes, it is becoming a popular destination. And statistics clearly back up this trend. So let's take a look at the screen. So according to the statistics from the Korea Tourism Organization, around 11 million tourists from overseas visited Korea in 2023, which was a drastic increase of 245% compared to the previous year. The number of inbound tourists are getting an uptick for 3 consecutive years after the outbreak of COVID, and among them, 35.6%, that is a total of around 3 million, were 30 years old or below.
I think not only because of the relaxing of social distancing rules after COVID, but there must be a big reason why these young tourists are choosing to travel to Korea as their destination, right, Ki?
Right. K-dramas, K-movies, and K-pop, some of the featured places that's shown in the music video have become quite famous. It's hot all over the world. When you look at the OTT platforms, you see Korean dramas and other shows topping the rank, and many people around the world are attracted to Korea. They're curious about Korea, our nature, shopping districts, alleys, cities, and villages that appeared in the drama are luring many visitors all over the world. And according to Korea tourism organizations, about 3 million visitors came to Korea after watching the Korean shows or Korean drama. And the Japanese visitors among them were ranked number 1, and China and Taiwan came in 2nd and 3rd. And we've talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and this trend sort of started with the drama called Winter Sonata starring Bae Yong-joon and Choi-ju with Nami Island before.
So after listening to what Ki explained, I think many of our viewers want to know more about some of the must-visit recommendations if you're planning a trip to Korea. So personally, if I could start, I would like to suggest a K-pop themed tour, because a lot of the tourists who are actually visiting Korea are interested in K-pop, and it's become sort of a trend for K-pop fans to visit locations where their favorite artists film music videos or held performances. So for instance, Gyeongbokgung Palace, which you're seeing right now on the screen in downtown Seoul, is a must-see spot because groups like BTS and NewJeans have performed before. And not only can you enjoy the connection to K-pop here, you can also explore Korea's history from the 14th to 19th centuries by touring the traditional royal palaces. And outside of Seoul, what you're seeing right now, there's the iconic BTS bus stop near Jumunjin Beach in Gangneung City, Gangwon Province. Now, this location gained fame from the album cover shoot for BTS's first full-length album titled You Never Walk Alone. While it's not a functioning bus stop, it's set up for fans and tourists to take photos. And also, nearby the Jumunjin breakwater is another hot spot known for a memorable scene in the 2016 hit drama Goblin, starring actors Gong Yoo and Kim Go-eun, where the male lead Gong Yoo gives the female lead Kim Go-eun a red scarf and flowers. And a lot of visitors who visited this Jumunjin breakwater actually lighted to recreate this scene again. So it has definitely become a hotspot among tourists in Korea, especially K-culture and K-drama fans. So now to our panelists, do you have any K-culture themed tours or itineraries that you'd like to share?
Yeah, so you mentioned about the film shooting spot. So let me just add on to that. So recently, such film shooting location are gaining traction, and one of them is actually located at Nonsan, South Chungcheong Province. So there is a drama theme park there, and recently the Netflix TV show Frog was filmed at this park. In fact, this theme park is already well known to the public as the filming location for the famous Korean TV show that is Mr. Sunshine, starred by Byung-hun Lee and Harry Kim. And if you guys want to visit this theme park, you can take the KTX from the Seoul, and you can drop off at the Nonsan station, and they have the bus that directly leads to the theme park. And if you visit here, you can see that the streets and the buildings are like they have jumped the time from the pre-modern society, and they are definitely different from what we see today.
That's very thoughtful of you to share the information to our viewers of how to get there. Now, for those who are interested in visiting Jumunjin Beach, you can take a bus from the Gangneung train station, so please keep that in mind. So now to you, Ki, what are your suggestions?
Well, to add up to that, if you're a K-movie fan, of course, Hapcheon Movie Theme Park in Gyeongsang-namdo Province is another one you should take a visit. It's a theme park / actual film studio. So Miljeong, The Age of Shadows, starring Song Kang-ho and Gong Yoo, 암살 Assassination starring 전지현 and 이정재, 아가씨 The Handmaiden starring 김태리 and 하정우, 국가 구도의 날 Default starring 김혜수 and the one that I was on, and the countless other films were shot there. And there's a replica of Blue House is the main attraction, and there are others to enjoy: Wood Factory, Media Art Theater, and Bonsai Park, and more. And there's a bus that takes you directly to the theme park from the Nambu bus terminal, which is close to the Arirang studio.
I see. So until now, we've given you some recommendations of spots where K-pop artists perform, film their music videos, or have become filming locations of K-dramas and K-movies. So moving on, what are some other unique activities that travelers who are traveling or visiting Korea can experience?
Well, there are some like unique tourism programs these days where the tourists can actually dress up as a K-pop idol, and there's also a special beauty class where the tourists can wear special outfits and also makeup like a K-pop celebrities, and they can also lend hanbok and walk around the traditional palaces like Gyeongbokgung Palace, and also you can also wear school uniforms and visit amusement parks, which provide special discount. And also there is a special like K-pop idol production company running a special zone for those who love K-pop idols, and be careful not to overspend the budgets here. If you have like favorite idols, there are like bunch of goods and products which you can buy.
Right, so the experiences Hang-Yong mentioned, you can not only experience K-pop, you can experience K-beauty, K-fashion, etc. Now to Yuki, what other K experiences can visitors expect?
Well, if you've been a fan of this news generation, then you would know by now that I love cooking.
Right.
And we've been talking about the culinary show and culinary war quite a few times. There's so many food shows in Korea. So I suggest cooking classes. Lots of half-day or 2 to 3 hour classes, even in various languages, that meaning English, Japanese, or Chinese, are running from simple kimchi jjigae, kimchi stew, to kimchi 볶음밥, kimchi fried rice, to intermediate level like 갈비찜, the beef rib braised, and even kimchi making class that we've talked about last week.
Right.
Are ongoing. And what also lures many foreigners nowadays, what you're looking at the screen right now, is K-pop dance classes. It's so obvious. You get to learn your favorite K-pop stars' dance moves right here in the heart of the K-pop in Korea.
Right, and I think what makes these programs more accessible is that, as you mentioned, it only takes a few hours or half a day to indulge in these programs and experiences. So it's very accessible for all those who are traveling and visiting Korea, even if you're staying here in the short term. So until now, we've listened from our panelists. Now, to get more recommendations, we also asked our viewers for their suggestions on must-visit places in Korea. Let's take a look at what they said. Doina R. Hire 4630, Jeju Island for its wild, beautiful landscape. For tangerines and tea, for the woman of the sea, who are also known as Haenyeo. 5000 Shivam says Seoul, Busan, and the DMZ, short for demilitarized zone. Seoul is a beautiful and modern city with sky-touching buildings, ancient palaces, lakes, and gardens. Korea is such a lovely country with friendly people. RKZ LTV, as a beach lover, Jeju Island. It's one of the new 7 wonders of nature after all. I also love visiting Jumunjin Beach, where you can check out the iconic BTS bus stop and the Goblin filming location. Right, so until now, we've also taken a look at recommendations from our viewers. For even more ideas after the break, we'll be joined by a young content creator from Pakistan. Stay tuned.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Majid Mushtaq, a YouTuber from Pakistan who creates videos on Korea. Welcome, Majid, to the show.
Hi, Eugene. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, Majid, I want to first ask you, how many times have you visited Korea and what initially drew you here?
So I actually came to Korea in 2015. So it's been 9 years, and I literally call Korea my, second homeland. So I've been living here for 9 years. Of course, I go back to Pakistan every once or twice a year. But yeah, this 9 year, I've traveled a lot. From Dokdo, Ulleungdo to Boryang, from DMZ down to Jeju. So I've been to so many cities, so many regions here, and yeah, this country made me fall in love with the culture, with language, with food, everything. So yeah, it's my second homeland here now.
Okay, so it seems that you've been to many Korean places, even better than Korean myself.
Right.
So maybe I should get your some kind of recommendation if I'm planning to travel across Korea. So with that being said, can you recommend any famous landmarks or tourism spots that you would like to recommend here in Korea?
I mean, well, honestly, I could speak for hours, and this show is not gonna be due to the limitation of the time. We can't cover everything, but it's one of the things I really love. Like through my YouTube, through my Instagram, I always love sharing about the cool places, in Korea. And as you guys were discussing about, the K-pop themed tours and the cooking classes and different, the movie sets. Korea has so much to offer, honestly. And I always say that every region has something special, something unique that everyone must go. And Korea has something unique in every season. So, for example, let's say if you are coming in fall, you must go to, let's say, Nami Island, or you should, and where the Winter Sonata was filmed. Or you could go to, you could see the firework festival in Seoul or in Busan. If you're coming in winter, you definitely should go to Gangneung and try the beautiful ski resorts that we have here. If you're coming in spring, you should go to, let's say, Jine and Gimhae the Cherry Blossom Festival, or Seoul Yeouido Cherry Blossom Festival. In summer, there are water festival, water bomb, or Janghang Mulchukje. So every season there is something to do. So it's really difficult to choose one. But if you still, ask me to pick one city or one particular place, I would say Pohang. So of course, when foreigners they visit Korea, of course Seoul is a must. But yeah, if you if you guys can see my video there, I went to Pohang recently after watching Hometown Cha 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 K-drama. And I was in love with all the filming locations itself, but not only that, the city itself is very, it's a perfect place. It's a perfect escape from the hustle and bustle of city vibe. Pohang has, as you guys can see, the Hwanho Park, the space walk. It's like, marvelous. Like if you go there, you are like, wow. So I made a video on Instagram and I got like 5 million views. My brother made a video and he got like 8 million views. So people were like, wow, there's something in Korea, in a city in Pohang. So that thing is a must thing to see. And then Pohang Red Lighthouse. This is again up near right next to the sea. It's the cool breeze makes you escape all the worries that you have. And going to the filming locations of Hometown Cha 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 was very relaxing too. So yeah, I really recommend people who are coming to Korea that apart from Seoul, you should also go and visit Pohang. You guys gonna love it.
Okay, well, that's my next weekend getaway destination. Pohang it is. And I mean, you've been to many different places in Korea, obviously. So what's your favorite activity you would suggest for other foreign visitors to come when they come to Korea?
Okay. So, when my family came, we did paragliding, let's say. And last week I did indoor scuba diving in Seoul. I have been to Nami Island. I did this very scary zip line. I have done, there's skydiving here. There's indoor skydiving too. There are these festivals. But as you guys were talking about, there are things like, K cooking classes, K-pop dance classes here. There are so many activities in Korea. But there and shopping, which you have to be careful because Korea offers such cute things everywhere. And if you're a fan of BTS or other K-pop idols, you end up spending a lot. But if it makes you happy, yeah, it's good. But again, there's so many things. But if you say one thing, I would say these thrilling activities you can still do in your country, in other countries too. But if you love Korean culture, one thing that is must is trying the hanbok. So trying the Korean traditional dress. If you have watched K-dramas, yeah, my whole family is there. So we tried hanbok also, and sticking to the Korean culture, trying hanbok and visiting the Korean traditional houses. it's totally unique experience. It makes you like you are in Korea. So wear hanbok, try to maybe Gyeongbokgung Palace, or you can go to the Bukchon Hanok village, or if you are in Jeonju, you can go to Jeonju Hanok village, or Gyeongju also. So I must say that that trying hanbok, taking places with your friends, it's a must thing, and you will love it. The memories you will make wearing hanbok will stay with you forever.
Some very great advice. All right, Monsieur, thank you so much for your time today and your insights.
Thank you so much, and have
Thank
a
you.
good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Right, so ending off, as locals, I think we can provide some very valuable and helpful advice for those considering a trip to Korea after watching today's episode. So, what's your top travel tip?
Well, there are many apps in the app stores which the tourists can download and use for their convenience. Of course, Google Maps don't function very well in Korea, but still we have Naver or Kakao Map where the tourists can use and find the locations. And although I understand that Koreans cannot speak fluent English, these apps provide multilingual functions, so communication wouldn't be a problem here. So because Korea is an IT powerhouse, I highly recommend you to download these apps for your convenience.
Right, and these days, as we're seeing more inbound tourists, popular tourist spots or landmarks, they provide multilingual service for all those tourists out there. So also keep in mind that as well. What about you, Ki?
Yes, as Tanya has mentioned, Naver and Kakao are obviously two major platforms. You can utilize them, especially the translation services. The Papago that's powered by Naver is one of the really good translation app. And I really recommend you download a Kakao Taxi application because you don't need a Korean number to get the access. And you'll be needing a credit card or debit card. You can still get the cab on the road, but then the Kakao Taxi app will make your life much easier. Just think about a rainy day like today or it's just Friday night. It's such a hassle to get a cab. Once you download the application, you don't need to worry. It also tells you how long your trip's going to take and how much it'll cost. At the same time, I'm quite clumsy myself. I've lost several times my phone and my wallets. But then the application has the record of your trip and the number to the cab driver, so you can most likely retrieve the lost items if you have any. And also, to mention this thing, you can pretty much get the free Wi-Fi anywhere you go, especially if you're in Seoul.
Right, so a map application, a ride-hailing application, and also a interpreting or translating app. And that's all from us today, but Newsden will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. Special thanks today to Im Sang-hyuk.
My pleasure as always.
Thank you. And Ki Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. We are News Generation.